we've done a tree planting.
That's brilliant. Now, Sammy, I want to talk about some of the challenges that you experience, because the fact is that you are, living in a slum. You were born and brought up here, and this is something that you're very passionate about. But there are some challenges that you experience, which includes funding, right? How are you able to fund the planting of these trees? Because, this is something that you've taken upon yourself. Is there someone that's funding you? Is there someone that's trying to pump in or invest money into greener cities? Or this is just something that you've been doing out of your own initiative and you're managing to just, I guess, sustain the entire business model?
When we were starting, actually, the challenge that we said about maybe the seedlings, they are very common.
How much is a seedling?
A seedling goes for it depends with the species.
Yes.
If it's indigenous, it's obviously expensive. If it's a fruit, it's more expensive, because the least you can get a fruit tree, it's 100 shillings.
Okay, per seedling?
Yeah, per seedling.
Okay.
Indigenous, 50 shillings.
Okay.
Exotic, you'll get them from cafes, for example, get them for like 17 shillings. But now from when you need to, because we source from local, because we want to empower the youth that maybe have the tree nurseries. But before we started this program, we've been working with the Nairobi County.
Okay.
They've been providing us with seedlings. That is when we were starting. But because of the consistency and we wanted our program to be sustainable, we thought of having our own tree nursery. So we did go out. We got people to support us, like Safer Nairobi Initiative, Muungano na Vijiji, Kenya Association of Manufacturers. They've come on board because they saw what we are doing, and they are willing to support us.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. Sammy, apart from the challenges, let's also talk about how you, as an entrepreneur, also as a founder of this, are you managing to stay afloat? Like, how are you managing to put food on the table? Because we do know that, yes, this is something you're passionate about. This is something that you want to do for the environment, that you want to do for the community, that you want to do for the youth out here, and also for the environment. But like, how are you managing to put food on the table?
That's true. It's very challenging. But if you realize this is, we are going green, and this is the green economy.
Yes.
And to us, establishing tree nurseries, that is our business. How is it? We have a small, we charge with the trees that we grow.
Okay.
So for example, we have a partnership with Kenya Association of Manufacturers, with their members.
Amazing.
Like Osho Chemicals have come on board, and we are growing with them seedlings. So they're sourcing the seedlings from us. They also funding when it comes to nurturing.
Okay, nice. Yeah. That's good. That's great that you have, big corporates that are kind of collaborating and partnering with you, because at the end of the day, you do want to also make some money for food, right? Yes. For the youth as well that you're employing. So Sammy, the fact that you also provide seedlings for youth, and also other people are now able to start up the same thing that you're doing, but like you have people under you. So how many people have you inspired in this particular initiative? You said you've employed 120 people, but in the long run, right, in the entire community, how many people live here, and how many people's lives have been affected through greener cities?
I don't know about the number,
yeah,
but what I'm sure of, we are, with what has been going on in the community, so many youths have embraced what we've been doing.
Amazing.
Sometimes I do walk around, I do meet them, and they have their own nurseries, whereby when I came into this partnership, I came and sourced from their nurseries.
Yes.
If I cannot maybe reach the numbers that I want. Yeah, it's a challenge. But I can say, as of now, we are doing well.
That's really great to hear. Sammy, let's also talk about the current state of Mukuru, right? When you started, what exactly are some of the achievements or milestones that I can say that you have managed along the way? For example, we do know that the current river restoration is a project that you are also part of, that is the Ngong River. You had mentioned that earlier on. Yes. Aside from that, you had also mentioned that there's a few things that you're doing, and there's a few achievements that you've had along the way. So maybe you can take us through some of the great things that you've done that have given you this tribute at the back, because you are inspiring a whole generation. But apart from that, maybe you can also tell our viewers what exactly it is that you have done for Mukuru.
First, I'll start with the school that I schooled in.
Yes.
That is St. Bakita Primary School. I've worked with the 4K Club. And thank God, last year they won the Presidential Award.
Wow.
They were #1 in Nairobi, and countrywide, they were #3. Secondly, we've been in a position to educate the community
Yes.
on the importance of a clean river. If you understand, last year we had floods.
Yes, of course.
So we've been able to educate them the challenges when you live next to a river.